Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. I was making sure it was recording because this is the 12th attempt of this. Anyway, so I have to admit, I was wrong about 2K25. You're like, what are you talking about? Well, if you've been around on the channel for the last year or it's at least 6 months, I've been pretty down on the game before we got all this new information about the game, which got me super hyped because they're doing things in 2K25, adding things that I've been asking for years. And we'll get to that in a second. But early on, I was saying stuff like it's probably going to be the same game. My Rice is going to be menu based. They're not going to do much for the online. All sorts of negativity about the game because, well, their track record isn't that great. However, I'm glad to be wrong that they're finally listening to the fans and truly trying to get a breakthrough year. Like adding intergender matches, adding all the stuff. Let's get to the list. All right, so the first thing, and I thought they never do this in a million years, was bring back intergender matches. When I heard about that, I'm like, oh, that's a rumor. There's no way that's true. They freaking did it. And I'm guarantee you on their end, it probably freed up a lot of like technical issues, like for universe mode. I mean, obviously you can still block it out for the championships, but the fact that the game doesn't have to lock out the men fighting the women probably might make the code work a lot better. So it might have fixed universe mode in a sense, right? So the return of intergender matches is huge because it makes the 300 plus characters or wrestlers that they've said they're going to be in the game before any DLC makes it truly feel like 300 wrestlers are playable. The fact that anybody can fight anybody, you're going to be like going through Netflix trying to find something to watch. You're going to do that with wrestlers now, because now you're not like, do I want to do a men's match or do I want to do a women's match? No, now you can just pick anybody and fight anybody. You're going to be sitting there scrolling through all the real wrestlers, especially if you make creative wrestlers like me. I have 60 planned this year. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them, but I have 60 planned. And you're sitting there going through like, who do I want to play as? Who do I want to play as? And you'll probably spend 20, 30 minutes before you pick somebody. Unless, of course, you have your favorite wrestler and stuff like that. But that's huge. That's amazing. Hopefully they have a timer for online play, because I can see people just, no, I don't want to play as them, no. And you're sitting there waiting like, pick your damn opponent already, or character. So the fact that this returns just opens the game so much, and I'm here for it. I think it's cool. And the fact that there's no like crazy, like there's no catches, like there's no restrictions other than the men can't bloody the women. The women can be bloodied, but not by the men, which I'm okay with. I don't need that in the game. But I thought there'd be like, oh, it's limited to 1v1, it's limited to certain match types. No, it's all modes, fully open, no restrictions. Thank you, 2K. Thank you. All right, number 2. Now, I didn't really care about this match because I thought it was just going to be the exact same as a normal match, but with no ropes. I'm glad I'm wrong about that. And that is the underground match. Like, watching other people play it and mess around with it, the fact that it has new animations for throwing them against the ring post and they spin out of the ring, or jumping onto them from the table, the announce table. You're in the ring and you can jump on them on the announce table. It got me thinking, like, how are ladders going to work if they're allowed in the mode? How are normal tables going to work if you set them outside the ring? I mean, there's so many cool things that they've added to it. If you're next to the edge of the ring with the no ropes, it'll activate like a suplex outside the ring. They've added new moves, and it makes me super excited. And that's probably the match type I'm going to play the most this year, because normally I'll do extreme matches or the backstage brawls, which we'll get to that in a second too. I'm super hyped for underground match. I didn't care when I first heard about it. I'm like, it's dumb. But once we got all the information, I am now hyped for underground matches. All right, number 3. Now, I haven't seen anybody else talk about this, so sound off the comments below. And it sounds like they've added, according to the SmackDown Hotel, that we got a new body type, and that's the giant body type. So they have heavyweight, they have super heavyweight, they have cruiserweight, and then they have giant, right? Or in super heavyweight, obviously. But now they have a giant body type. And it sounds like it gives you a buff, like an extra health bar. So let's say you're Rey Mysterio fighting Andre the Giant, and he's punching him and kicking him. It's not going to phase him at all. Now they did this in AEW. I forget what it was called because Warlow had it, and you had to beat him up a little bit before he would actually flinch. So they're adding that flinch mechanic to 2K. Now I know AEW is not the first game to do this. They did it back in the old Aki games too. But it's funny that a lot of the stuff that they added for AEW Fight Forever is coming over to 2K. I'm glad. I'm very happy about that. I'm not mad about that at all. But yeah, so that's super cool. I haven't seen anybody talk about that. So I don't know if that means we can increase the height limit. I believe it's stuck at 7 feet in 2K24 and 2K23. So I'm hopeful that that means we can make them a little taller. Maybe 7'4", maybe 7'2", just a little extra. That would be awesome. So the new giant body type for, or body class, I should say, for created wrestlers is freaking awesome. All right, number 4. Now, the island. I have been asking for a big free roaming area. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know about this for a long time. Now, I didn't think they'd go to this extreme where it's an entire island. Genius idea, by the way, the island relevancy. If Brock was still relevant, or if they did this when Brock was still relevant and didn't have these allegations, I guarantee you it would have been Suplex City. I guarantee you. But the whole fact that it's like a Hawaiian island, the island relevancy, I like that aesthetic a lot better than a big stupid city because, let's face it, the city thing has been done to death. Grand Theft Auto, Spider-Man, Hulk, everything, every superhero game, everything always takes place in a big city. We get it. Cities are cool. But an island setting, that's freaking awesome. I was just asking for a free roaming arena, not a whole freaking island. And if this is an online only thing, I mentioned this in a video too, there's like no information about the island mode yet. But if this is like a online only thing that they build off every single year and add new islands, it should carry over, correct? I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. Anyway, so I hope it's not online only though, because when they shut the servers down, it goes away, and that would suck. So the island seems like the big breakthrough, big breakout thing that the franchise has needed for something fresh for a long time. Kind of like when they first added GM mode way back when, and when they first turned GM mode into universe mode, it feels like that big breakout thing. If they don't kill it with microtransactions, which, let's face it, is probably going to happen. All right, number 5. Giving us moveset AI to really control how our wrestlers or created wrestlers perform in the ring. Now, personally, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this because I make like 60 wrestlers. I might mess with it for my main 2 characters, Strizer and my Strizer. So if I went through every single character, by the time I finished, the next game would come out and I wouldn't have played the game at all. Because if you go through the movesets and all the different categories and all the different moves, you could sit there for like a week and not hit everything. There's so much stuff in this game. That's why it blows my mind that they make a new game every year, because these games could last for years because there's so much to do in them. So the fact that we can control how our creative wrestlers perform in the ring, I'll definitely do it for Strizer and Mai. It'll probably take a month, but I really want to have them set up, because the cool thing about that is because it's part of the moveset, it should translate to community creations. So when other people download them and other YouTubers use my characters, which is cool, they'll perform how I want them to perform. And that's super awesome, because then they can get their gimmicks in and everything, and it makes it feel like they're actual AI controlled characters. I don't know, it's just that cherry on top. It's really cool. Number 6. Now, until I get the game in my hands, I can't confirm this, but from all the footage I've seen, the gameplay seems like it's a little refined. Like animations, them climbing on stuff, the controls, everything just seems a lot smoother. And it might be the placebo effect, but to me, like watching Xavier Woods seamlessly counter a bunch of moves, like the countering system actually functions. It could just be his skill is that good. I feel like they might have increased the countering window time, because it kind of feels off in the last couple games. It felt perfect in 2K20, and well, 2K20 was too easy. And then 2K22, I feel like the window was pretty good. And then 3, they screwed it up. And then 4, they screwed it up even more. 2K24, I mean. So hopefully they fix the window and the timing in 2K25. Because It's already annoying with the guessing game. That's the main thing I hate about the new 2K wrestling games is the countering system. Everything else seems okay, in my opinion. Anyway, so the gameplay seems a little refined. We'll have to wait and see until I get my hands on it. Number 7. The new Brawl arenas look super fun to play in. Like the Destructible environments, especially the WWE archives. Being able to climb on all that stuff and climb up on the fist and jump off or throw them off. It's so cool. Like, I'll be playing that mode quite a bit. Hopefully, those modes lead to what we had in WrestleMania 19, which was the revenge mode levels, right? So like a shopping mall, the barge, where you could throw them off the barge in the middle of the ocean, the construction site, all those things. It'd be super. Oh, the park, they already have a parking lot, but stuff like that. That would be really cool and make it more interactive and truly feel like a big playground to wrestle in. And it feels like with the inclusion of the NXT parking lot and the WWE archives, it feels like we're moving more towards that type of stuff. And I'm here for it, because when Stone Cold fought Booker T in the shopping mall or the supermarket, I want that in the game. I want to be able to grab a jug of milk and just or throw them through a thing of apples or something. Stuff like that. Crazy stuff to really get more immersion in the game. I think that's cool. Rather than just being stuck in a wrestling ring, I love it when they have more places to play. Now, number 8. And to me, I feel like this is the biggest game changer this year. And I know other people have said it. Dubs has said this. Mr. Dubs. Shout out to Mr. Dubs. This is like the most revolutionary thing, and it's such a simple thing. And that's the third-person camera control. Now, I said early on, why would they advertise it if it wasn't for gameplay? And I was right. So you guys are all like, no, it's not going to be for gameplay. That's stupid, blah, blah, blah. I was right. Why would they advertise it if it wasn't for gameplay? The fact that it's not just for entrances and it's also for gameplay, you don't really think about it until you experience it. Like, I haven't played it yet, but I can just imagine it's a feature I never knew I wanted, but now that I've seen it, I can't imagine a game without it. And I hope Ultra Pro Wrestling can eventually add that in there, because they're going to add to the game forever. The idea of looking around a ring, looking around your environment, and just seeing everything in the ring makes it more immersive to me. It'll truly make you feel like you're that wrestler rather than you're watching them wrestle. Because with a static camera that doesn't move, it feels like you're just watching the show. Now that you can move the camera around while you're wrestling, it's going to make you truly feel like you're that wrestler. And that's freaking awesome to me. Plus, I just want to see the entire arena because I think it's cool. Anyway, so yeah. Third-person camera, that is a huge add. Now, despite all of this stuff that we just mentioned, I still have a few concerns about 2K25 because they haven't really talked about it yet. Alright, so the first thing for my concerns are the creation suite changes. Hopefully we get more slots and image space for 2K25. So currently we get 100 character slots and 1,000 images, somewhat, because it depends on the size and quality of the image. So you really probably have 500 image slots. So hopefully, and I'm sorry for last gen players, but this could be a next gen only feature. Hopefully we get at least 150 character slots and they double the image size amount. So for next gen, or current gen, because it's been 5 years. So for PS5 and Series X, I know it sucks for PC, but it is what it is. But hopefully for Series X and PS5, we get 150 character slots, and then we get an additional 1,000 image quality, or image slots too. That would make a big difference, especially, I feel like the next gen, or I keep saying next gen, I feel like the current gen hardware could easily handle that. Like with the SSD being able to load faster and everything, I really hope that's a thing. If bare minimum, give us an extra 20 character slots or something, just show that you're trying to improve it. That's all I ask. Maybe an extra 500 image slots or something, just something to improve it. Because even though if the community creations things is true, still a rumor, where you can't download from PC to a console, the cross community creations, we'll mention that here in a second. You might not need all those image slots, but people still like to make a lot of wrestlers. They still like to upload a lot of images. My main wrestlers have probably 5 or 6, maybe 8 original images mixed in with their clothing, and I use it on my championship belts and my arenas. So I don't download a lot, but if I wanted to upload images for all 60 of my wrestlers, that's going to fill up really, really fast. So hopefully they increase it. So that's one concern I have. Number 2 is universe mode might still be jank and not feel updated like we want. The fact that they're adding back promos and they're doing a little bit of stuff here and there, I'm hyped for that. I'm glad they're actually touching the mode at all. But I feel like it's just going to be, that's it, and it's going to be exactly the same. Hopefully they have, like what Beach Bites said back a couple years ago, hopefully they add like a clean slate option where it just wipes all the data out, so everything you do in that mode is fresh and it'll load and run a lot better, rather than us having to do it manually, because it takes so long to do on top of everything else that we have to create every single year. So I'm a little worried about universe mode still being jank, but we'll have to wait and see. Number 3, my faction persona cards might be more aggressive this year than last. So one of the things that really killed the momentum of 2K24 was how they did persona cards. Because if you want to get all persona cards, you have to spend $50 to hundreds of dollars to try to get them in random packs. Or you can wait until they go to the card shop and pay out the butt to try to get them all, like just right away. Now you can grind for points and get them that way for free, but you'd be playing for quite a while to get enough points to buy all of them. And they don't keep them in there long enough to get them all either. They keep removing them and then adding them back in, and the fact that the stuff doesn't carry over to the next game seems kind of pointless to me. The persona parts don't work for created wrestlers. So there's a lot of things that they could try to fix with persona cards, and I don't think that's going to happen, because that's going to be their big money maker to pay for all the other modes. It just sucks that persona cards are probably going to take over DLC in the future, and that's a concern of mine. Hopefully they figure out a good balance with it this year. We'll have to wait and see. Number 4. Now, even though the island mode could be the big breakout mode this year, I still have concerns that they might try to shoehorn aggressive microtransactions in it and be online only. If they try to put microtransactions in there atop of the My Faction and the season pass and the $130 versions of the game, that's recipes for disaster, in my opinion. Like, if they're going to start charging us for like boosts and clothing items and just stupid crap for the island, even though it's going to reset next year, that's going to kill the mode for me. All the hype I have for a big open area of zone and messing around with my wrestler in third person and just walking around an island, that could all be thwarted simply by just having aggressive microtransactions. So I hope they found a good balance for that too. Hopefully they keep all the microtransactions to the My Faction mode and keep it out of the island. And hopefully the island can just be this awesome new thing that we get to play and play against other people, and that's it. It's not some, oh, you have to buy all this stuff. I guarantee you it'll probably have like a battle pass for the island for your My Career character, but I really hope it doesn't lock out a bunch of creation parts that you had to pay to unlock in the mode. That would kill it for me instantly. So anyway, those are some things of why I was wrong about 2K25. They are adding a lot of things I've been asking for over the years. Like I said, I still have some concerns, but I'm actually hyped for the game this year, and I can't wait until the 7th. Sound off the comments below. Are you hyped, or are you still kind of like, I need to see more? As always, thank you for watching, and stay frosty.